All right, guys, we are back. It has been, I'd say, 4 weeks, almost a month, probably at least.
6, 7 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. There's been a lot of things going on. I had a work trip last week. The week before that, I was in office, I believe. And then the week before that is when I had my procedure at the hospital, and which went good. But anyways, so we've had 3 weeks where we've not been able to meet up, and anytime if it's not Wednesday, it's almost impossible. You know what I mean? So it would be nice for us to be able to get together on a Sunday afternoon or Friday evening or something like that to do it. But with everything going on, it's just so difficult. But we are back today, just me and Travis. And at first, here I think the first topic we're going to get into is just what we've been into. I know you this week. It's not fall yet, obviously, so we're still in early September. It is September 3rd, and I saw on Facebook, the gym posted, it is National Beard Day.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good. Well,
So-
I didn't. I was in a hurry and I didn't trim anymore on mine. I'm kind of letting it go back out. It's kind of in a weird.
Yeah.
It's in a rough stage.
See, that's what I dread. If I was to ever trim mine up, I dread getting in that stage where it's kind of like...
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything's wrong with your beard, but I know there's like a stage where it's kind of like it's not...
It's just like growing your hair out. Like you
Yeah.
remember, like we both grew our hair out. Remember
Yeah.
that one summer I had like there's some pictures.
Yeah.
I had like the longer hair.
A little curly.
Well,
it
you
starts
get
to curl up a little
you
bit.
get like to a stage where it just looks like crap,
Yeah.
and it's the same with the beard. It's not itching or anything. Like I think I'm beyond itching.
Yeah.
You know, that's like when you first grow your
It's
beard.
more scruffy and
Yeah.
it gets
It's
to
just
that point.
it's just all tangly and stupid looking, and
Yeah.
but it'll get there. It's whatever.
So-
I'm old, and I'm 1 year older since the last one.
Yeah,
Or
yeah. So-
one more birthday, I guess.
So Travis's birthday was a week ago?
Yeah, it's a week ago today.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
It was funny because I woke up that morning. I was in Lexington and I was going to text you, and I was like, I don't know what I was thinking, because that morning I didn't sleep at all. So I woke up at 2:45, went and walked around Rupp Arena.
Nice.
And did I tell you the story
you
already?
tell me something
They
weird,
have a
like-
park or in the back of Rupp Arena, but there's no postings on the sign, no sign postings or anything. This guy with long beard, a toboggan on, in a jean jacket comes walking up to me, and I'm like,
About to get mugged.
this dude's gonna steal everything I got. So I start walking in a different direction, and he comes following me again. This time he's got a flashlight and he's going like this number, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Park's closed," and I'm like, I don't see any signs that say that, so can you tell me how you know that? And he goes, well, I'm security, and I'm like, you could have fooled me, you look homeless. And he pulls...
He goes, get down on the ground.
Yeah, he pulls his little jean jacket to the side, and he's got like an embroidered polo that says security.
Watch
I'm
out.
like, that looks real official.
He goes, you didn't see the insignia, huh? Let me show it to you.
Yeah.
Pulls it over to the side.
So the guy...
Deputy.
He seemed real toolish, so if you can imagine, this park is literally just connected to Rupp Arena sidewalk. So to meet his needs of park being closed, I just walked like 10 feet over to the sidewalk.
Nice.
And was like, all right,
A little smart aleck move.
I'm out
Did
of
you do
here.
a little smart aleck skip?
I'm like,
Side skip, yeah. Oh, you mean I'm cool over here, but not over
Yeah.
here? Just kind of go back and forth. I know you did a little sarcastic skip over, didn't you?
oh yeah.
Definitely would have.
So eventually, I woke up, saw on Facebook that Tasha's birthday was today, and I'm like, I forgot that Travis and Tasha share the same birthday.
That's right.
Which is amazing because you guys are not twins.
No.
There's like, what, 2 years?
3 years.
3 years between you all, but y'all share the exact same birthday.
Yeah, we do. And that's usually the first person I text. And usually the first person I get a text from, but my mom actually texts me, and my dad, which was cool. But yeah, we have the same birthday. So for years,
Yeah.
when it was birthday parties and celebrations, it was together.
Yeah.
We did our big, when I turned 16, she turned 13, so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of a fun little thing that we share. I think she had a good birthday too, as far as I know. She's 39, so this is...
Oh, she's got one.
She's got a big one coming up next year. For me, it's like... 42 felt just like 41.
Yeah.
We did do some fun stuff. Like we went to eat Sunday at Duff's. Finally got to try that out.
Yeah.
Nice. I was surprised how good it was. I liked it.
I
Got
had-
those pizza egg rolls. Did you try those?
I've not tried them yet. I had
Ooh.
Duff's yesterday for lunch. I had a little
Nice.
chicken
You've been
salad,
killing
but,
it there.
yeah.
You're like a member. They've got you a chair pulled up. Thomas's Corner, like
I th-
Willie's Corner at Texas Roadhouse.
I think I'm gonna have to back out of it though.
Huh?
It's decent. Don't get me wrong, but especially for lunch, like
Yeah.
yesterday I had a salad, $15.99 for a salad. Then after you tip, and they
What about
charged me
those-
for extra ranch, and I wanted to try one of the hot sauces. They charged me for the hot sauce, and I was kind of like,
Ooh, no.
"You're gonna bring a little souffle cup of hot sauce out
Yeah.
and charge me for that?" So,
Yeah, that's not that good.
I mean, I know
You
I know
what
it's
about their
petty,
lunch
but-
specials? I saw where you could get.
they seem awfully expensive too. I didn't.
Do
know
they?
if you
I didn't
know-
look at the price. I just
Yeah.
saw. I was looking at that one because my father-in-law actually got this, but he of course couldn't get the lunch special because that's Monday through Friday. But he still ordered this. It was that beef weck or whatever
Yeah.
sandwich, and then you got 5 wings. I don't remember the price on the lunch. I think it was $19.99.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough.
Except for a lunch, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you
now
can
that
go
the words came out.
You can go to Buffalo Wild Wings and get like a $12.99 lunch that includes a drink. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Which I get it. The wings are completely different in
Yep.
size, but it is still good.
Just
Yes.
glad to get to try it.
My-
And we got to sell. Go. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
Aaron Critchlow went with me, and
Yeah.
he got the barbecue char barbecue or charbecue or something like that. But they're basically like the Daytona wings. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they fry them, then they put them in a sauce, and then they put them on the grill and kind of caramelize.
That's
the
kind
sauce.
of mine were like that because I got the hot honey and they had
Gotcha.
char marks on them and they were good.
Yeah,
I mean, they were
they're-
for traditional wings. They were tough to beat. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was good.
Yeah.
It's just another new place another option for us. Like Rachel liked her. She got a grilled cheese. I mean,
Yeah.
she's typical girl food, girl diet, and she loved it. It was good. It was a good grilled cheese. It was on a nice bread.
Mhm.
Maggie likes wings. She likes the boneless. So she said they were good. We like the appetizers, like the atmosphere. So gives us another place to eat when we go to E-Town.
Yeah.
We celebrated. We kind of celebrate all like the whole half a week. I feel like we did because my father-in-law cooked the homemade pizzas. I think we talked about that maybe last time.
Yeah.
He's still in his Italian pizza making phase on his Ninja.
Oh yeah.
So he was like, we're gonna have homemade pizzas. I was like, all right. So they made me a little confetti cake, which
Oh
was
wow.
nice.
God, that sounds good.
Sister-in-law came home. We hung out, so we ate a lot of food on Saturday. Then of course we went to eat Sunday. So it was a lot of. The weekend was me just being old Travis, like devouring as much food as I could, as much bread as I could. Like, I celebrated my 42nd, acting like I was 32, as far as my choices for food and the amount of food I was consuming. So I've been trying to take it easy since then. It's not been going great, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I've kind of relaxed on the diet thing.
Same.
I'm. It's so much easier just to eat regular food and just maybe not eat so much during the day.
Yeah.
And which I don't because I work and when I'm out, I'm just usually my diet usually during the day consists of like a like those Kind bars or like the Sam's knockoff ones.
Yeah.
That, and then I'll have like a beef jerky stick or two, a bag of peanuts or something like that. That's usually all I eat during the day, and then I'll eat at night. So I figure, it's not hurting to eat a few carbs. I had pasta last night. It was
Yeah.
amazing. I love pasta. Still trying to work out. Like we were talking before, it's not going great. I'm getting, I just got, some days is easier than others. But like this morning, I wasn't motivated. It's
Yeah.
tough to power through. I'm sure you're...
I deal with the same thing. As long as I usually have somebody with me, or we've talked about this before, but one of the first things that started happening to me when I started working out was if I stepped on the scale and the scale was like ridiculous,
Yeah.
and I wasn't used to it, that would discourage me mentally, but it would drive me physically, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So here lately, I have been dealing with a little bit of depression because I have been gaining some weight,
Right.
but I think it's been helping me because I hadn't walked in a couple weeks and religiously walked. And this past, I would say, week and a half, as soon as I got back from my trip Friday, I started pounding it.
Yeah.
And since then, I've been I've probably walked 25 miles since Friday of last week.
I think, and then Brian getting on it too.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help to kind of motivate me. It's cool seeing your all's little walking. I love that you all send the actual screenshots of like the trail and the miles and the calories burned and all that. I told Rachel, I was like, I'd like to get one of these, either a Garmin or is that what he has, a Garmin?
Yeah, he has a Garmin, and I just have a regular Apple Watch.
I would like to get something like that. Maybe start doing. I think that for me, if I ever just transition to like walking and cardio, I would have to have something like that because it'd be like that rabbit I'm chasing. Like I have to see how many miles or roughly how many calories, my pace. Like that gives me, you know, if I'm no longer looking in the mirror and going, oh, this looks a little different, then I want to see like some type of progress. And I like the way those apps look and the way they show you all that. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad he's doing stuff. Hopefully he sticks with it and starts seeing results.
Yeah, Apple Watch has got like that feature where, and I'm sure the Garmin watch does too, but where you try to meet your rings. So there's like a move ring, an exercise ring, and a stand ring. Well, I have my move ring set at like 1,000 calories to burn a day. Exercise ring is like 30 minutes, which all those are easily achieved by me now. Like my exercise ring of a morning is set at, like I said, is set at 30 minutes. I do 3.5 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it blows through quick. But when you're not, so let's say I woke up today and I wasn't doing anything. I was just laying here watching TV. It's going to pop up and say, hey, you need to get busy doing something. So that, I mean, I know it's a piece of technology telling you, but it's still kind of a little bit of encouragement. Like, hey, you haven't met your move ring goal yet today. Get out and do something. You know, quit being lazy.
It starts taking over. Like it starts taking over your arm.
I'm like
real, it starts like does the it thing.
Yeah.
It's crawling to your workout gear. Starts getting your running shoes. You're like, no.
Yeah.
I would. The only problem with that is like those rings, hitting those. If I had a 30-minute exercise ring and I hit it 3 hours one day, I would girl math that and be like, well, I can take 2 days off. Like 2 days off. Like, technically, I did a week's worth of workouts today.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool though. I need to get some techie stuff. You know me, like I am not the least techie person of our group of friends. I just don't get behind it. I don't get motivated by it usually, and it's a struggle for me. I'm like the old man, like, oh, what's this do? I remember when phones used to flip open, you know.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool. That got me kind of thinking about that. So maybe I'll do something like that. I think the walking's cool. I just, I said all summer I was going to get back into doing at least a couple days of like light jogging. I haven't done it one time, and now we're getting into like, we're only going to have a couple months of decent weather to do that. So
yeah,
I either got to wait till next year, tough it out this year, or get some cold weather gear or something.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, going back to what kind of how we started. I mean, here it is, the first week of September, and this year has already been a different year weather-wise for us. Normally in Kentucky, especially in our area, you don't start seeing leaves change until like October, almost November. You know what I'm saying? And right now, leaves are changing because it's been so dry.
Yeah.
We have all of a sudden had, fair was last week. Our Grayson County
maybe
fair
the
was
best
last
weather
week.
they've ever had.
It was easily the best fair weather known to man.
So I've heard. I'm not. I stay far away. For the county fair.
We do not go to it, but we did go Friday night. That's the first time in probably 5 years that I've been to the fair.
How many steps did you take inside there before you either saw someone you didn't want to talk to, was totally disgusted by someone, or like realized like I just wasted X amount of money to do this totally boring, like lame thing? I mean, no offense to the fair, no offense to anybody who likes it. I feel like kids still like it a lot, but for an adult, it's rough.
So when you come in on the side where the storage buildings are.
Yeah.
So that's where we drove in at. I parked right along that fence that's right there. From the moment I got out of the car,
so you can exit quick.
Yeah, backed in. From the moment I got out of the car, before I even hit where they put like the displays of things in those little concrete buildings.
Yeah.
Right there is where I ran into people and things. Me and Ashley, I'm not trying. I don't like to mouth people. I don't like to be a gossiper. I don't like to involve myself in that. Sometimes it happens. But me and Ashley, we found an empty seat in the Republican booth,
Yeah.
and we sit there for 6 hours straight, just people watching, and like, how would, the whole time I'm like, being a dad, like, how could you let your daughter go out wearing that, or or how could
It's
you
rough.
do this or do that, and I'm like, oh my god.
Let me tell you, it sucks. No, yeah, we didn't. I feel like it was last year or the year before. There was one. The last time I remember going where Rachel and I actually went was obviously to take Maggie. We didn't want to leave her there by herself, so we stayed for a little while. But it was so brutal.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
again, same thing. We found a random picnic table somewhere. We sit there. I got probably a Cattleman's burger.
Mm-hmm.
Always a good pick.
Oh, yeah.
And we sat there and we were like, gosh, how much longer do we have to do this? We were like the kids. We were like, oh, complaining like, this sucks, and and it's like you're going to see a bunch of crazy people and stuff like that. But you're also going to see people that like, maybe you don't see very often. And
Yeah.
it's just kind of awkward and we just avoided it this year. I'm glad though that the weather was nice. I'm glad, like, I think Maggie went 1 or 2 nights. She had to work the State Farm booth one night for
Gotcha.
Doodah, for her job. Just I'm glad they had nice weather.
Yeah.
And the weather is nice, dude, and it's super
Yeah.
nice to go outside and have those cool evenings. Like,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is my favorite time of year. We're getting ready to get into scary movie season.
Yeah.
All
Wear
that good
hoodies.
stuff.
And
Yeah, wear
it was-
hoodies.
Man.
Finally can break out what I think is my uniform, which is a hoodie and jeans.
Yeah.
Let's finally dust those off out of the closet, get rid of these T-shirts and all this mess.
Aiden had a football game last night in Hancock County, and it was supposed to be cooler last night.
Yeah.
It ended up warming back up in Hancock County. I don't know what it was like here. I'm sure it was the same, but it wasn't raining down there where it was raining here.
Yeah.
And we got down there, and I had a hoodie on. I had to shed it when I got
Yeah.
there, but it was a little touch of what's to come. So
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, this is deceiving weather because you'll get up in the morning and go, ooh,
oh yeah,
grab a jacket. Like for me at work, I wore long sleeves most of last week, but by the 4th or 5th stop, I was like, oh, gotta take this
Yeah.
thing off, like burning up. So you're kind of in that in between, where you don't really know how to dress.
Yeah.
That's our fashion moment.
Yeah.
For the take it for what it is.
Going back to the diet situation, last week was you talking about struggling. Last week was a struggle for me because
food.
we were in Lexington. It was a work trip, so work was covering the bill for my food. So we
You're like, I'll see about that.
Yeah, the first day we had endless pasta at Olive Garden. Second day we went to Cheesecake Factory, which I was let down.
Italian twice in a row.
I didn't end up having Italian. I had Boom Boom Chicken and Shrimp, which
Yeah.
tasted like garbage.
Oh,
It tasted like
I'm shocked.
somebody.
I
You know how
love
like you
Cheesecake
can get
Factory.
those Asian meals from like the freezer section at
Yeah.
Walmart? That's what it tasted like
Oh,
to me.
man.
Very, very let down. And then the third night we went to that all you can eat
Hole in the wall?
sushi hole
Yeah.
in the wall place. And let
That
me
sounds
tell you,
awesome.
if anybody's listening from Lexington, Happy Sushi. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but man,
It sounds good.
it was very
I
unique.
mean, I feel like it's all in the name. Happy
Yeah,
Sushi.
oh, it
right?
was Happy Sushi. It was so happy though that Ashley was like, "I never want to eat sushi again."
Yeah.
And it wasn't that it was gross; it was just,
You just-
we ate so much
You
of
got
it.
miserable on it. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And that stuff, I can eat a lot of. What I call sushi is just rolls.
Yeah.
I don't like raw sashimi and all that, but I'm talking like
Yeah,
dragon roll,
yeah.
California roll, whatever. I like all the sauce, all the crap on there. And I can eat a lot of it, but as soon as it hits me, it's like a brick in my stomach. I guess
Yeah.
all the rice and the sodium and it's a good idea until I can't imagine all you can eat. I would get, they might have to bury me in there.
And it
might
wasn't-
be, I might be done.
It wasn't just all you can eat sushi either. So it was all you can eat appetizers.
Oh
So I
my
mean, I
gosh.
kept getting egg rolls and crab rangoon and gyoza. Then
Oh gosh, dude,
it
that's-
was I had General Tso's chicken all you can eat, and it wasn't like a buffet. You put on your little order, like bring this out. They hand cooked it, hand prepared it, brought it out to you, and you
Oh
ate
my
it.
gosh, dude.
And the,
Why have I not eaten here before?
the sushi rolls? When you think of like an all you can eat sushi roll, you're thinking like to me. I thought, Well, that first plate they're going to probably bring me is going to be like a decent size.
Yeah.
But then anything after that, they might bring me 3 little California rolls.
Yeah.
They brought us out 3
Full rolls?
full-size, full roll.
Oh my gosh.
And there was one we got, it was called a king roll. Oh my God, Travis. It's like the seaweed they used or whatever wrap was that
It's like a burrito?
that big. Like it was king roll. Ashley was just looking at the ingredients. She wasn't like paying
Yeah.
attention to the name.
It's kind of
King roll should have been an alert. Like, hey, this thing's gonna be Jethro size. It looked
Yeah.
like a Qdoba burrito.
Oh, that would
just
just. I'd pick
that
it up
big.
like a burrito and eat it that way.
I
too.
should have just.
You should.
Hey, please
yeah.
don't slice that. I'm gonna.
Yeah. Can you bring that out whole and,
Yeah.
and turn away as I eat this because it's going to get disgusting? Yeah, I would eat it like a burrito.
Oh,
That
yeah.
sounds amazing. I might have to like, that might be a place that we have to find a way to get to.
Yeah.
I've got family. I've got a sister-in-law who lives in Lexington. I got a brother that lives in Lexington, which I've never went to see in Lexington. I only see him when he comes down here. But if we ever venture over that way for anything to do with either of them, that might be a place I have to swing by.
Mhm.
Just drop me off. That's what I'd be like. Because that Rachel would be like, now Maggie would love it. Because
Yeah.
she likes all those rolls and stuff. But like, it might be a place that like me and Maggie would just have to stop in and they'd just drop us off and go eat somewhere good. And then we just tear that place up, shut it down.
Yeah. Thursday at the conference, they had. It's called Beans and Greens. I don't know if you've ever had it, but it was just like white northern beans with greens, and it was like good home type cooking, but it was real fancy looking, and it was a chicken breast. I'm sitting here at a very fancy conference. At our keynote speaking, it's a dinner with all, you got 3 forks and 2 knives,
Oh,
and I mean,
no.
it was real fancy.
Ugh.
I'm sitting there, and I'm like sitting there devouring this, and I text all the people in my group, and I'm like, listen, this is like home cooked food to me. If nobody wants their beans and
Slide them
cornbread,
beans over.
so I had 2 more plates. I had a total of 3 plates. I gave like all that I was eating these beans.
You thought you were Memos on a Sunday.
I was
didn't you? You're
destroying
like,
it.
I'll take your beans.
Yeah, and then Friday we had Cattleman's in Shepherdsville.
Nice.
Saturday, of course, the fair, and I had we went to Tiny's booth, and I had the Doritos and barbecued, like they were nachos, but
Oh
it was
my
made with
gosh.
Doritos. Oh my God, dude!
That's what we should have done today. We should have went and got some barbecue and ate while we did this. Just gross. Anybody who watches this would be just
we
disgusted.
Beard day
Barbecue
would be
sauce.
barbecue sauce all
Yeah.
filled up in the beard.
That would have been awesome.
Tiny's is some good stuff, man.
I've heard a lot of good things. We trying to think if we've done anything outside of just going to eat for my birthday. We went to the East Main Market thing. Did I
Oh
tell you
yeah,
about that?
yeah. You told me you were going. Yeah.
We went. We didn't stay for the whole thing because it was nice. It's really cool that
Uh-huh.
our community's putting on events and people are like turning out and vendors are turning out and food trucks and stuff and but we did that for a little while, so that was kind of cool. We left before or right after the main group started. It was kind of like an 80s type of tribute band. They've been
Yeah.
around apparently a long time. I ran into somebody I used to hang out with at high school, and he said, I used to watch this band like 20 years ago in Louisville.
Oh wow.
So it was crazy. There was a bunch of like older guys out there just rocking, and they sounded really cool. I mean, their guitar player, he could shred, dude. He was
Oh,
like, you
wow.
could tell the ladies were like, whoa,
Yeah.
dude. He was all jacked, big buff guitar player, just out there, just like tearing it up. So that was pretty cool. That was my first time going to that, and I'm really glad that they do that kind of stuff. I kind of wish they had it. They would do it this time of year though, like starting
Yeah.
it now and having it during the fall, because a couple of the other times I've wanted to go, it's been like 1,000 degrees.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
hot out there. So shout out to them for doing a lot of cool local concert stuff. There was a local guy that played like an acoustic set before, and he played a lot of he was playing like Alice in Chains and like Stone Temple Pilots and all that stuff.
But-
I like, so I was like,
But all acoustic. That's cool.
Rachel was like, lame. No, she thought he was good, but I was like, this is my jam right here. Like,
Yeah.
he was pretty much playing like a couple of my Spotify playlists, just acoustic version. So that was cool. I really enjoyed that. But other than that, man, it's been all, Rachel and Maggie, school and work, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if anything else. I got the pool covered up. I told you that.
Yeah.
Glad to put that thing away for a few months.
I took your lead. I saw your picture that day. You sent it. So I went ahead and threw water hoses in mine, and I dismantled, since mine is just temporary, so I just dismantled mine and put it in the barn.
Oh yeah.
But where
That's
it
a
was
good idea.
sitting, oh my god, dude,
Big dead spot.
a big dead spot, and it smells. Do you know what like silage smells like?
Yeah.
Like it just smells like rotten silage. Like if
Well, at least you know where to put it back
oh.
next year.
Well,
Just put it right back in the same spot.
I don't know. I think Ashley was asking me about it, and I think I'm going to till it up and plant grass seed right there, and then next year, like, do it the right way. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just
Level the ground.
level the ground, put some sand out, probably
Yeah.
kill the grass first,
Yeah.
Make sure it's just all flattened out.
If you can get down below, like, get all that grass gone and the roots and stuff, and then put a nice layer of sand, and then do it a little bit wider than the pole itself. That way you don't have to try to trim around it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we have ours. Ours is gravel underneath, which it's probably not the best, but that's what they had to do to make the ground right. And so I've got like a foot of gravel all the way around mine, so that weeds don't have to worry about trimming around it.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I did a couple. I got that covered up. Me and the father-in-law put that on the other day, and I've got trying something different this year. I've got a traditional cover, and then I have a leaf cover over it. So this leaf cover works just like the traditional cover, but I should be able to take it off a couple times and get the leaves off, and it'll drain onto the next cover. That way it's not leaves and water on the cover, which was the disaster and the cause for all the trouble I had opening it. So, just typical lame stuff.
So I mowed this week. It's been a couple
Probably
weeks.
last time.
No, I'd
don't
say we probably get. I probably get 3 or 4 more mows in just because of when the leaves fall on these 2 trees back here.
Chop them up.
But so I was mowing, and this is a very funny story that some of y'all will get a kick out of. I have about 13 jalapeno plants that are still out there, fully loaded with jalapenos. Most of them are like red or starting to rot because they've been out there so long. I was like, I'm done with these jalapenos. Nobody's gonna do it, so I just mow over it, right?
Dude, you just blew jalapeno dust
Dude,
all
I
up in you?
didn't have my glasses on, didn't think about it. I go through, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to. I start to smell the jalapenos.
Your skin's just on fire.
Then all of a sudden, man, I breathe in, and it's like I got sprayed with pepper spray.
That's what it was, dude. You detonated a
I
jalapeno
start
bomb.
coughing. I'm sneezing. My eyes are watering. I'm going like this, and then my eyes are burning because the juice hit my fingers.
You're just mowing the neighbor's yard because you don't know where you're going.
Dude, I was
you're out on the road
struggling.
going towards 259.
So
That's
needless to say, next year I will pull those plants and go put them somewhere and not run over them with the mower.
I would have totally done the same thing. I would have just totally chemical warfared myself by driving over those. You come crawling back in just all red-faced.
My garden right now is awful. Like if anybody besides my papa, who's already probably made comments about it, like where it's been so hot, I don't want to get out there and mess with it. So my tomatoes, there's still tomatoes on the vine, but like there are so many weeds and stuff growing up in it. You don't want to go out there and try to get a tomato because it's like you have to have a machete to go through there like Indiana Jones or something. It's awful.
Indiana Jones out there just trying to get a few last tomatoes in the season.
Yeah.
You probably got all your fill out of all that, I guess.
Oh yeah, we canned a bunch, and we did a bunch of salsa, stuff like that. So once
salsa was good.
Oh, I
remember last time you gave me a jar. It was delicious. We put it down pretty quick.
But yeah, I'm kind of done with all that now and ready to get it all plowed up and ready for next year. I know we had a couple topics we were wanting to dive into, but I think one thing we've been wanting to touch on for a long time, and we've been kind of waiting on others to get here, is I wanted to touch on one today about just our relationship. I don't know, how long have we got? I don't want to
I don't know when we started. When did we start?
Let's see. Sorry, guys. I don't want to dive into this if we're not going to have too much time here. We should have about 30 minutes left.
Nice.
So I wanted to dive in to our relationship. We were going to wait, like I said, with Brian and Brad, but it's so hard to get in. So I wanted to discuss in this episode kind of how we've talked a lot before about Travis and I early on, like when we met at Captain D's, and a little bit about that relationship, but there's so much more to it than that, because after I moved away and came back, we then developed an actual friendship.
Yeah.
So just to lay the story out, I was probably 17. So I was a senior in high school. Travis started at Captain D's, and we began working together. We were not friends at this time. This was probably 1998, 99.
I started in May, I started in April or May of 2000.
Oh,
So it was right before you guys all quit.
So it was right before I graduated.
Yeah.
So I would have been 17, almost turning 18, right before just basically moving away. So yeah, he was there for a couple months, and I still have a way about me, the way I communicate with people and the way I joke. It's probably not the most friendly way. I may come off as a bully sometimes, especially with my smart mouth. So I think at that time, he thought I was a jerk, right? We just didn't get along. I wanted to try to be friendly with him, because I don't like for anybody to not like me. I have a problem with that. Anytime somebody doesn't like me, I want to get to the root of it and find out why and change it. But
I think you did then, because we all did. We were all young kids, and you wanted everybody to like you. I think you had a different way, like you said, of communicating.
Yeah.
You were more jokey and maybe push the envelope sometimes.
Yeah.
But that was just your nature. But it's exactly the way I remember it, and that's exactly the way I would tell it is, but I remember you before Captain D's, because when I started there and you were working there, I was like, oh yeah, I remember him, because you would come into my homeroom class all the time and talk to Seth.
Yeah, so they had our homerooms at that time, when his grade and below, they made everybody in the homeroom with the same last name or letters, so alphabetical order.
Yeah.
So Shepard, Sloan, all them would have been in the same. So he was in a room full of people that I was friends with. So I would come in there probably acting super flamboyant.
You would jump right in there with the...
And just start socializing with everybody, and I probably...
Miss Taylor would go nuts. She'd go, Thomas, why are you in here?
Yeah, get out. And my class was on the other side of the hall. I was in Miss Lindsay's class. And James Miller, if you hear this, or Delisa Sandlin, or Miller as well, if y'all hear this, I'm not mouthing y'all, but there was so many people in mind that I didn't want to communicate with, and it's probably more because I was just friends with people your age.
Yeah.
That your class, I had so many really good friends. Chris Alvey, Seth Sloan, Matt Stanton at the time, he was in there. Yeah. So there was a lot of them that I was friends with. So I would go over to yours, and like you said, you would see me and probably just...
I would melt in my chair, because I was way different than I would become. I was really quiet.
Yeah.
I was still in my phase of where I had moved back here, because I moved away for a while. I went to middle school part of the time here, then I moved and went my freshman year at another school, then I came back, and it was I was still trying to just figure it out.
Yeah.
So when you would come in there and you were like, hey, and acting all crazy and all that stuff, I probably just melted in my chair. Like, I hope this guy doesn't see me.
So the Travis you all know now and see on here is not Travis of 1999, 2000. Travis was very reserved, introverted, basically.
Yeah.
And you've come out of that big time.
Yeah, I had a...
You get me and you together now anywhere, and we're going to be...
Yeah. We'll just act silly and hug each other and act crazy. But I was just quiet. And there was a couple phases in my life. I went... I was really quiet then. I had my friends, and I would socialize with people, but I wasn't... like I am now. And then I would open up a little bit, and then I met some other guys that I'm still friends with that were older than me that really got me to the next level to just be whatever I wanted to be, because they were so much older and I had to keep up with them. But yeah, so I remembered you from that. But I can remember like one of the first days, probably my first week working at Captain D's, and you popped in there, and I was like, and honestly, my reaction was crap.
Yeah.
Like, he's gonna make so much fun of me, because you we're not trying to offend anybody.
Yeah.
Keep in mind we were high school kids, but you used to call me Gavis.
Yeah.
And I think that's hilarious now. And if you'd call me that now, I would laugh because it's
Yeah.
it's no offense again, but I was really like, gosh, he's really making fun of me.
Yeah.
And that's all I thought you were doing. I thought you were sarcastic. I thought you were. Anytime you talked to me, I didn't know whether to take it serious or not because I didn't know if you were joking or whatever. So it went on like that. We only worked together for a short while because you were getting ready to go to college.
Yeah.
You were getting ready to quit. All you guys were quitting, and we were going to be the next group of like high schoolers working there in the evenings. You know what I mean?
If you all think of this at Captain D's at that time, Captain D's was very youth ran.
Yeah.
So like he's saying that the whole shift would have been a bunch of people that are seniors my age.
Yeah.
And then we would have graduated and went to college, and then you would have had juniors and sophomores then moving. So we were all what you would call a crew leader at that time, and we were your leaders in the back and the front. Well, me and Adam and different ones, we left to go to college. So then you, and this would have been August of 2000. I would have left. I went to Louisville. You would have then kind of been promoted up, crew leader. You would have been that next level.
Yeah, you had little groups of people who were, usually at the end of your sophomore or junior year, you were the new kids, and then the seniors, and those were the people you looked up to. But you all were getting ready to leave, so I had a short little stretch of just a few months of working with you guys and getting to know you all. But it started out with me just thinking you were like obnoxious and silly and making fun of me. And then you probably don't remember this, but this was the first time that I was like, well, maybe he does want to be my friend. Is you invited me to go play basketball behind the middle school.
Gotcha.
When they had those.
It was dark, probably.
No, it was during the day. It was 50,000 people there. I don't even think I got to play. But I had played with you probably in like gym or something. So I knew you liked basketball, but I remember you were like, and you might have one other time invited me to go watch a movie or something, but I couldn't do it. I want to say you wanted to go watch like X-Men or something, but I couldn't do it. But I did go play basketball with you one time, and I think it was the first time that you didn't make fun of me.
Gotcha.
And you weren't like Gavis, you want to go like blah, 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 do something for some terrible thing probably. But I think we did play ball maybe, and then you moved off. And you would come in occasionally.
Yeah.
And you would holler at me when you come in to eat. I knew you liked to get extra couple boats with your food to put your ketchup in.
Yeah,
That's before they started doing that. Shout out to them now, by the way.
Yeah.
We ate there the other day. They got the boats out, and I'm like, that's a Thomas thing. But you wanted those extra little cardboard boats to put your condiments in, so I would, throw that your way, and we would say hello or whatever. We never did anything. We never hung out. We never talked for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it's the way I remember it.
So 2000 is when I left. 2001 was I was living with mom and dad in Mount Washington. I would say, agree with probably late 2002. Dad bought that house in Caneyville. So Dad bought that house in Caneyville. I was tired of being in Louisville. I failed out of college. Didn't have anything going for me. I was working at National City Bank at the time, and I was just making $8.50, but I was renting a $400 a month one-bedroom apartment in downtown Shively. And I was like, this sucks. Everything, I was eating peanut butter sandwiches and ramen just to make it because you were paying $8.50 an hour working at UPS, at National City Bank. And then, barely making it. So Dad bought that house in Caneyville and was like, hey, nobody's living in it. Why don't you go do that? And I called up, James or Charlie or somebody and was like, hey, what would y'all pay? And they were like, I think whatever minimum wage is. I don't even think minimum wage was that, but it was probably $7 or $8 or something like that. So I was like, shoot, I'm gonna just go back down there and do that, and I'll live for free in Mom and Dad's house. So I come back, and I remember that first couple weeks. It was trying to get used to everybody and stuff again. But
I remember you coming back, and I was excited about it because, I knew you, and again, at some point before you left, I'd kind of figured out that you weren't, like, you kind of wanted to be my friend.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then you came back and it was different. You were different this time. You didn't pop in there like making fun of me. You were
Yeah.
like, all right, dude, what's up? And we instantly hit it off.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, I got this house in Candyville. You told me where it was at. I was kind of familiar with where it was at. And you were like, I think I probably started instantly spending the night with you.
Yeah.
And there would be like a lot of people that would go stay the night at your house. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was a cool place to go and
At
big.
At that time, there was Stephen Dennis,
Yeah.
Jacob, and that shift or that crew we had at Captain D's at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, with Brad and all of us, minus just a couple random people,
fun.
that was probably one of the best crews of anybody
Yeah.
of any job I've had as far as working.
That was a good little group.
And they would come, Jacob, all them would come over and we'd play games
Yeah.
and get in the pool, whatever. And then eventually, so me and you began that relationship with just me and you. It was just solely based on me and you being friends.
Yeah.
Like you said, we'd get together. We would watch. You got me. You were the person who got me into NASCAR at first.
Yeah.
You're the person that got me into pretty much everything I do now, for the most part. And we got to where we were hanging out pretty regularly, almost every night.
We would hang
after
out
work.
almost every day. At some point, most days.
And at the time, I don't want to get into names, but we'll just kind of keep it general. But at the time, he was dating a girl, and that girl's best friend didn't have a boyfriend. She was single at the time. So it just so happened, like, me and her hit it off, and that made me and you grow stronger. Because
then we were just always all together.
Then we were always, literally
all
always
hours of the day
together. So yeah, and since then, I mean, it's just, we may go, sometimes you and I will go weeks without talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's adults being adults. I mean, we have, a lot of priorities and things to take care of, and, that's just how it is. But we've been, best friends for now 22 years, I guess.
Easily 22 years. And during that time, I mean, we've been through a lot of things together, but when I look back over these last 22, 23 years, like I said, there would be times that we'd go a little ways without talking, but it's never been, like, sometimes you go a long time without talking to somebody, and it's awkward. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's never been that way with us,
I've got, some friends that's tough now when I see them, that I was close to. I was talking about the guy I saw the other day. I mean, he and I were, for a couple summers, inseparable. Same situation. He was with a girl, and they would come over and they would swim and they would hang out all the time. And then when we see each other now, we still hit it off pretty good. But it's like you and I have never got to that separation where it makes it awkward. But I don't know what. I always kind of looked at you like a big brother. I think that's why I was drawn to you. Because my close friends up until that point were either my age or younger. Because I'm like you, I had a lot of friends that were Brad's age, because when I moved back and not all my credits translated, I had to take a lot of classes with the group below me or lower. So I that's when I met Brad. That's, I met a lot of those people that age that would have graduated, I guess, in 04 or 03. 03, 04, that era. So it was the same situation. But you were the first, like, older, like, and I was like, man, this guy rules. Like, I thought you were funny. That's when I started coming around to being, like, not so closed up, and and we could just be loud and obnoxious, and we were, like, at first, and we've kind of maintained that, like, but it was, I mean, just hanging out watching movies all the time. We didn't get into, we weren't like wild running around kind of guys.
We got into stuff, you know what I'm saying, but I don't, with where I am spiritually in my life, I don't like to talk about the sin, quote unquote, that I was into at that time. But I don't think we ever got into anything crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did my share of drinking, and I did my share of things that I wasn't supposed to do. Yeah. But me and you never. We've got some funny stories. Yeah. I was thinking of one the other day, and I'm not going to get too crazy. But me and Travis had 100% Dumb and Dumber moment. And when I say Dumb and Dumber moment, when Lloyd and whatever.
Yeah,
When they're at the end of the movie, there's like a bus that pulls up and it's full of girls, and they're like, "Hey, we're looking for somebody to rub lotion on us." Travis and I are coming home from Taco Bell or we're coming home from somewhere.
It had to be Taco Bell. It was either Taco Bell or Walmart.
Yeah, we're coming home from somewhere to my house in Caneyville, and there's these 2 college-age girls that are broken down in my long, creepy... I had this long, single gravel driveway that was like a mile long, and they were broke down, flat tire or something, in my driveway. If me and Travis don't get out of this vehicle, help them put the tire on, and just go, all right, you guys have a good night.
Bowling Green's that way.
Yeah, Bowling Green's that way. We had a full opportunity to be like, hey, y'all want to hang out sometime.
I remember, it's funny because I remember pulling up and seeing them and being like, whoa, those are good-looking girls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
there was one that was a little heavier. You're like, hey, Thomas.
I was like, dudes. No. And I remember us being like typical guys. We're like, this is great. This is the perfect opportunity. But then we just totally...
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was lack of confidence, because I think we were both single at the time.
Yeah.
Or what it was, or just we were just not interested, or just had no chance.
We were too focused on the Taco Bell or
I was probably like, we got this family pack that's going to go to waste. These bean burritos aren't going to eat themselves. And I remember we talked to them for a little while, and then they were like, yeah, we're going. I think they were going to Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Or I don't know, but we were like, yeah, so you just want to go down this way.
Yeah, you take a right out of my driveway.
Have fun. We were probably waving at them when they left. Bye.
We're like, all right, back to the house.
We probably had our arms around each other, like waving at them. You know, they probably thought those are guys too old to be hanging out with each other. Or extremely nice guys. But that was a funny moment. That's when I look back on, and then think, gosh, what a couple losers. But we had our moments, our times. That house in Caneyville, I remember thinking, like, coming out there the first time, and it just added to me just thinking you were the coolest, because I was like, he's got a mansion out here.
Yeah.
That place was like, you would open a door and there'd be like another family room.
I was like,
good grief, where does this thing like end? Giant little pond out there, and I remember we'd go out there and you'd throw a bunch of crap out there, and those catfish would go crazy over it. And I just thought, what a setup. I thought you had the coolest setup.
Listen to this, guys. So during this time, I was DJing weddings and different events. So I had all this DJ equipment. I had karaoke equipment. And I would keep it set up in one of these family rooms that Travis is talking about. So it'd be like this big, long room.
Yeah.
And I would have the lights, the speakers, disco light, everything set up. And him and I would turn on...
That's probably why we didn't try to get those girls. I was probably like, we got to sing karaoke.
Hey, we've got to go sing. So we would turn on Bon Jovi, Backstreet Boys, anything you can think of. And there was times we were even singing like love songs to each other,
I'd be like, did I hit that note all right?
Yeah.
On that, how did I sound on that Bryan Adams? Was that pretty good? Or?
And I'm talking mics in our hands, straight up, just me and him,
just
no audience, nothing.
Occasionally another guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I swear, I think,
Jacob or Steven or somebody probably did it with us.
I
guarantee you Jacob probably did.
Every guy that came to your house, I always was like, I sold it on karaoke. I was like, he's got the sickest karaoke setup. And we would have so much fun. That was the most fun when you had that deal. A couple times I went with you and helped you.
Yeah.
I was talking about that the other day with somebody, because I was like, me and Thomas went to this one. It was a wedding, and they had an open bar. And I remember that was the first time I ever tried tequila, and I thought it was the nastiest thing I've ever put in my mouth. It was probably like bottom shelf tequila, but that was one thing I remember about it, because I thought it was so cool, because they had an open bar, and it was a semi-fancy wedding. I hadn't been to a lot of weddings at that point, and I was like, ooh, the perks of being like a worker at a wedding. I'm going to test out this bar.
I'm trying
and
to
some
think
guy
of
made
where
me a
that
garbage
was.
margarita. I don't remember if it was around here. I want to say it was in a different town. It wasn't even around here.
Gotcha.
Of course, I helped you do Brad's, I think it was Brad's sisters.
Yeah, Courtney. Was it a
Courtney?
Center on Main?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did a couple with you, and I thought that was cool too, like that you had that business. I remember I went with you to pick up the equipment. It was Bowling Green, wasn't it?
Yeah, we went to Bowling Green, to pick it up.
We went to pick it up, and I was like, we're going to have so much fun with this. Just a couple early 20s guys totally trying not to hit on girls, just wanting to sing karaoke to each other.
Did Brad's wedding. So
it's a wonder we ever got married, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
How did we get wives?
I don't know.
Being just two lame dudes.
Yeah, I feel guilty bringing those two girls up without pointing back to my wife. So we can kind of go into Rachel. So Rachel was a friend of mine in school. She's 2 years older than me.
Yeah.
But me and you went shopping one day, and we were at the mall in E-Town, and they still had a Gap, and
she was a manager, I think, at the time.
It was still, the mall was still full of good stores, and we were kind of going around looking at different things, and I was like, "Oh, there's Rachel," and we go in there, and Mac Daddy over here was like, "Hey, what's up, baby?"
Yeah, I remember I think we went to watch. I want to say that's, and I should remember, but I want to say it's when we went to watch Ghost Rider. I
can't believe we watched that in theater.
It's the worst. Nicolas Cage, man, at the height of his powers. I want to say that's when we did, and it might have been that time. There's a couple times. Remember, it snowed really bad.
Yeah,
we got pushed off by that plow or whatever.
I do feel like that was.
I think that was the same day.
Something. It was doing something that day. I know.
But I remember you being like, I know, because I knew who she was, because I always thought she was good looking, and I would check her out when she came into Walmart. Not gonna lie. But I never talked to her, and probably never would have.
Yeah.
But you were like, yeah, I used to be friends with her, and I was like, Leah, let's go talk to her.
Yeah, let's go.
So we went in there, and me and her talked, and then after that, she would start to talk to me occasionally when I would see her in Walmart and stuff. And but the connection, it's neat because you used to go and hang out with her family.
Yeah. And
because you were friends with Hannah, and you were the same age as her sister, and the fact that you knew each other, it made it easy for us to kind of talk and have things to talk about. And then, it was just probably a year and a half later, she and I were dating.
Yeah.
And but that was a cool moment. And to think that my life could have been totally different if we hadn't went to the mall that day.
Yeah.
To walk around like two men borderline living together do. And you'd be like, I want to go talk to this girl that, and then I was like, yeah, I know her, and I'd like to talk to her as well, I'm sure I was real smooth.
Yeah.
So I was real slick with the ladies back then. But everything could have been different. That's nuts to think about, dude. If you would have been like, I don't want to talk to her today, or
yeah.
She wasn't standing at the counter, and probably the slowest day of the mall history. I swear, I think it's when it snowed. There was nobody in there.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm pretty sure that was a rough day.
Because she talked to us forever, and I don't think there was a customer in there. R.I.P. Gap, that's probably what happened.
Yeah.
That's probably getting started the downfall. But yeah, we went in there and chatted it up with her. So that connection was always kind of neat to me. The fact that you knew her family, and they've known you for years.
And then, so, yeah, how much time we got before we...
We're going to do multiples. So.
I can do a little bit more, yeah. So,
where you talked about doing multiples.
Yeah. So, just for this episode, so to go back, we had that. We did all that stuff, but we worked at Captain D's together. BB's came along.
Yep.
And we kind of had we didn't change our relationship, but we had to work at two different spots.
Yeah.
But I was working at BB's for a long time.
Tried to break the band up.
You were working at Captain D's, but we both closed at the same time. So we still, I'd get done at BB's and you'd go home with me or whatever. Yep. I would spend the night with you in your house. Y'all lived on Sunbeam Road at the time. Eventually, I had moved and I got this bright idea. Me and the girlfriend at that time had broken up, and I was going through a lot with it. So I got this bright idea. I'm going to buy a house and go to Bardstown. So I went to Bardstown. So we were still pretty separated. But you would come up. Y'all helped me move in, kind of. And you and Rachel
helped you move in and move out.
Yeah, you and Rachel. I don't know if I ever actually moved out. Like, I still have these dreams because the house had to foreclose.
Yeah.
So I have this dream sometimes that there's furniture and stuff still left in there that I just was like,
the bank has it.
That was around the time that Anthony, my cousin, died.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, just not going back up there. Like, I know me and Dad did go up there and get everything out, but I know for the longest time I had
that was a rough.
There.
I think you tried to jam a lot of growing up into like a big moment. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
because that was a quick thing, but then you try to do a lot. You know, like you said, bad breakup. You know, me and Rachel getting serious, and maybe you and I not hanging out as much. And you're like, I'm gonna do this thing, and you went full nosedive into it, and then it kind of, if anything, it set you back even further financially and stuff. But that was getting ready to be the start of a huge turnaround for you.
Yeah,
life changing.
So all that happened. I was working. So after I foreclosed, I was working at MTD, and so I came back down here. Was living in my house in Caneyville.
That's a factory. We haven't talked about it.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's
a
factory, and I was working there. My cousin died, and I missed 3 days for the funeral or whatever, and the visitation and all that, and I got fired, and that kind of started everything for me as far as my progression and my basically like you said, when I got fired from MTD, it basically turned me into an adult.
Yeah.
Because things started clicking in my head, and it just started making me want to do different. So, you know, I came back down here. I did date another girl for a little while that I got engaged to, but that lasted like 2 or 3 months tops, and I was like, you know, this is not for me. But you got me on at Walmart.
Who that was.
Your cousin.
You don't have to say. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
So we were working at. You got me on at Walmart working with you. You were working in produce, and I was at meat department.
That was a cool little 5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't very long, so I started there.
We didn't work. We worked a lot of opposite shifts.
Yeah, we worked. I worked at nights usually, and you worked days. And I remember I was walking down the hall one day, and this chick with this big old caboose.
Going there, huh?
Oh, I'm going there. I was at that time dating, so again, so I inappropriately, I didn't say anything. I never did any cheating at all, but I was like, man, that girl's pretty, you know.
Yeah.
And so things didn't work out with me and the other girl, and we broke up. But again, me and you working together. I remember the day. I remember it so clearly because I was sitting there in your house in front of the middle school.
Yep.
And I was at the window, and this is so funny. And if anybody ever hears this from Walmart, I apologize that this happened this way. But I was on lunch, and I was supposed to go back from lunch.
I know exactly where you're going with this.
And I got a call from Lincoln Village at the time, and they were like, "Hey, we want to offer you a position," and I'm like, I'm not going back to work.
Yeah, I was telling you not to.
Yeah, you're like, dude, don't go back. I
just bought Rock Band.
Yeah.
And I was like, just stay here and play Rock Band.
Yeah. So I didn't go back to
Guitar Hero or whatever it was. It was Guitar Hero, the World Tour one, with all the drums and all that.
It was all, yeah. We hooked. I think we hooked that up even.
We used to play that all the time again.
We hooked one of them up, Guitar Hero or something. We hooked up to my.
We were aspiring singers.
DJ stuff.
Really, that's the whole gist of our friendship in those early days, where we were just wanting to be rock stars. I think we just sang karaoke and played Rock Band all the time.
Do you not remember? It was either Tyra or Tasha's birthday party at Millwood.
Tyra's 16th birthday party.
You had like the black wig on, and I had some kind of crazy mullet wig, and we were rocking it out, man.
We stole the show. I'm not gonna lie. Man. I mean, it was her birthday party, but it was our concert.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was sweet.
And that was another one of those awesome DJ moments. But yeah, I mean, it's just hard to. It's crazy, you know. Our like I said, there's nothing crazy about our friendship or how it started or how it's going. You know, it's pretty much a typical development of a friendship. But when you branch out and you look at how we met our wives and the connections there, you know, things could have totally been different.
Yeah,
we could have been sitting in your house right now as 40-plus-year-olds in Caneyville playing Rock Band. And with kids.
Yep, completely different lives.
700 pounds apiece.
Yep.
I don't think that would have happened, but it could have easily happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But luckily
we've
go
each
that day.
Contributed to... Because if I wouldn't have came to work with you at Walmart, I wouldn't have met Ashley. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, each of us have somehow contributed to what lives we have right now, and it's kind of neat. We have so many other stories to tell, guys. Funny and stuff that's not crazy. I'd like to get into a couple of the NASCAR trips because some of those. One of them, I even remember. I even tried to call Rick and Bubba or whatever, because it was such a random thing that we went to that first Talladega trip.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. A lot of good times there.
But we are going to do, this sounds weird, but we are going to do a couple episodes today back to back. So we've got a couple more awesome stories about our lives on the next episode. So it'll be, I don't know what episode we're on, 8 or 9.
Yeah, I don't know.
So whatever one's
Gotta do some
next,
catching up.
listen up. We'll see y'all later.